Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Life After Lockup, Season 5, Episode 46.
I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Hopefully none of y'all had any pregnancies over here. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
We are starting with Britney and Karac.
Yeah.
Britney pulls Karac to the side at the wedding and tells him that she doesn't think getting married would work in their favor based off of what the PO said.
Wait a minute.
She asks him, do you think our situation should force us into doing something as far as doing our wedding day this way? This is not what we pictured for ourselves. Well,
What?
Karac walks away. He's just like, okay, give me a minute. Karac is feeling like a fool now. Since Britney is not all the way in, she waited until this moment, and now he feels like, in a way, like, I wouldn't go as far as saying betrayed, but just like a fool.
Yeah.
Britney doesn't think that she can go through with this. Karac ends up thanking the officiant for coming and tells him that he can go. There will not be a wedding today. Karac doesn't think that Britney should have kept the secret from him. He says that he's going to go ahead and go to Texas. And there is just too much confusion when it comes to her right now.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm not on probation anymore. You get what I'm saying? And there was enough time for Britney to disclose that information to him. You get what I'm saying? Not when you're at the altar and you like, excuse me, we need to talk to the side a little bit. And here's the thing. I don't know why he's following her suggestions, in my opinion. Because this whole idea of this is what we wanted for our marriage and things of that nature, like our parents are not here. That is not the goal here. The goal is to get you out of this state and get you into Texas where I'm at. And I'm kind of like, hey, man, you might got to leave her where she is, because I'm in a tux. You in a dress. I had to tell the pastor to go home and all these things. And you could at least share this with me 48 hours ago. Like, I don't understand why she's getting cold feet about this.
Yeah. So
I'm about to say, were you wait for me to be there?
No, I mean, I'm just saying, yeah, like Britney had time to share the situation and what happened with the PO and the conversation. They were talking that morning and she didn't talk about it. So, yeah. So Britney doesn't think that Karac should go to Texas now. He says that he's ready to make some money. He's getting ready to go.
Yeah.
Britney keeps saying that he is not going, and she doesn't want him to leave in a bad mood. Well, Karac asks her, okay, well then when is the right time to go? And Britney says that she'll let him know.
What?
Karac is worried about cops being called because they're outside having this conversation, getting a little bit louder. And he asks, what does she want? Britney says, just wait until she get a response from her PO. If he goes now, then they may not make it through this as far as their relationship. Then she says, if you want to go, fine. But then she says, just wait a week. She just doesn't want him to leave in a bad headspace, and he agrees to staying another week.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts, Karac, you do not have a PO anymore. You are free to move as you please. I understand where Britney was coming from, just in the sense that, okay, I called off the wedding. I don't want you to leave just yet, because chances are if you leave right now, we may end up breaking up and I may not make it to Texas.
No, you're not going to make it to Texas.
But as far as Karac, if you feel the need that you want to go be where your family is, your family already packed up and left because you told them that they were going to be going there. So I think that if Karac wants to leave, Karac should leave.
100%. This whole idea of don't leave, even though I messed up the wedding, and the whole thing about it is he's like, hey man, and I know it was a small wedding, and when I say small, maybe small, it was smaller than small. Maybe small is misrepresenting what the wedding was. Karac been saying, man, I just been basically throwing money out from the savings. So who knows how much that dress costs? Who knows how much the tux costs? How much you got to pay the pastor? They was riding in the car full of stuff back to the house. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what we gonna do with this cake. And I wonder how she would have handled this if the shoe was on the other foot. I don't know if the word jealousy is the word. Maybe envy's not the word either. But I think, like, because he's free, she just feels the need to play, like just wait till my PO. But, like, I have to get to work. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like, for one, the fact that I even have this job coming out of jail, usually like HVAC and all that stuff, a lot of criminals or felons, ex-convicts get into that type of field and things of that nature. I'm happy that industry give them equal shots. And I'm like, hey, he got a shot. He don't want to like mess it up by not showing up to work. You get what I'm saying? Who knows the tricks and the loopholes he had to do to interview for a company to finally give him a shot to actually work. And you're talking about, well, I'm not free. Well, what would you say if I wasn't the one free, but you was free?
Right.
You would have left. You would have went through with the wedding. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, y'all should have had that wedding, and then months down the line, try it again. You get what I'm saying? But now y'all back on square one.
Yeah. So we move on to Bianca and Daniel. Daniel got hired by a moving company.
Yeah.
Bianca is proud of him that he's working, and she says, because you don't really have anything.
Okay.
And he says that he has her.
Well, you still don't have anything.
That's nothing. He asked her to pick him up from work, and she says she doesn't really know how her day is going to be. What? He says, okay, well, I mean, if I have to, I'll take an Uber home if that's what I have to do.
It's all about power with her. I don't like this girl at all.
Same.
Pick that man up. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Like you ain't got no job out there. You living off of the settlement you got. Like what?
She's literally doing nothing all day.
Exactly. Like, go ahead.
Now she's saying that she doesn't feel like driving while she is actually driving him to work. She's talking about, I don't even feel like driving right now. Mm-hmm. So the owner apparently of the company was in jail, got in trouble when he was young. Mm-hmm. He started his own business, and he tells Daniel that, you can make good decisions, you can turn your life around, and you can really create something for yourself.
Yeah.
Bianca is FaceTiming her friend Haley in Florida. This is the friend that told her basically, girl, get some sense about you. It's not going to be all fairy tales and butterflies when you get there, and maybe you shouldn't go.
You're right.
So she invites Haley to come out to visit her, and the friend asks, if she needs to ask Daniel first, since you guys are living together. And Bianca says she pays the bills. It's not his choice.
Wow.
She says that they have been arguing, is his way or the highway, and he has not proposed. She thinks that he might be taking advantage of her.
Maybe.
Daniel finishes his first day of work. He is calling Bianca, and she has been ignoring his phone calls. Mm-hmm. So he ends up taking an Uber home. He doesn't think it's financially responsible for him to take an Uber. It apparently costs him like $30, and he makes like $20 an hour. Mm-hmm. He gets home, and he asks her what she did today. And she says that she really doesn't answer. She tells him she don't like the fact that he's sitting on the couch sweating. Okay. And she tells him that she's not going to drive him around all the time. And he says, well, if that's the case, then maybe we should live a little bit closer to the job site, because it doesn't make any sense for me to be spending this much money on Ubers.
Yeah.
And he's currently working part-time. She was hoping that it would be a full-time job so that way she could have more time to herself. She tells him that she's just thinking about their finances, though, as far as why he should have a full-time job. She got elves for them to paint and to play with, and they were $137. He says that's ridiculous. That's pretty much a full day's work for him. She has money from the settlement, so she's not worried about how much she spends, and she tells him not to worry about it either.
Elves to paint. This is why you didn't pick me up from work, right? Because you wanted some elves to paint. What is your thoughts on the scene, Blair?
Leave her. But, they're not going to listen to me. Other than that, Bianca, you came all the way from Florida to help this man out and to help him get on his feet after getting out of prison and to want to create a life with him. Why would you not do everything in your power to work as a unit to make sure that dream can come true? You saying that you don't want to take him to work, you don't want to pick him up from work, and him having to come out of pocket in order for him to get Ubers and all that type of stuff. You're not working in partnership with him. So why are you putting it on him? Well, this is what you have to do when I got my money, and whatever you got to do, like, I don't really need to drive you everywhere. I don't got to do everything for you. Why are you here?
Why are you
even here? Honestly, if you were going to act like this and be this way, you really could have stayed in Florida. So, hey.
Yeah, and I asked that same question to Daniel. Daniel, why are you here?
For real.
You get what I'm saying? Go home. Somebody at home would drive you. And that's the whole point. Like, I think in some weird way, she got into some drunk driver accident. I don't know. Was like her driver the drunk one? Talk about Bianca.
She was in the car with her friend who was driving
drunk. Who was driving drunk? The friend was driving drunk. Bianca was a passenger, and unfortunately, they got into a crash. And somehow, some way, she's like, because I was part of this drunk driving thing, I went and got a guy who was in jail for drunk driving or something like that with Daniel. So it's like, is this your way of payback? Like it's kind of like, I'm going to make him suffer. I'm going to make him my slave. I'm going to make him my doer to kind of like come to terms with what happened to you and how your life was affected. It's all weird to me. Bianca's weird. Daniel's weird for being with her, in my opinion. It's just all the above.
So we move on to Justine and Michael.
Yes.
Michael is upset that Justine told the lawyer that she wanted her daughter to take custody of her children.
Mm-hmm.
He's not feeling splitting up the kids, and it's as though she's saying, you're a great father, but...
True.
He wants to be the one to step up if something does happen to her.
Yes.
And Justine tells him that, he lost control when the boys got in an argument. Her boys have already lost so much. And the only consistent thing that they've had is herself and her daughter, Kylie.
Yeah.
She's just trying to be realistic. He says that they have a blended family and you can't just unblend the family, if something were to happen to you. Justine tells him that I'll need you to encourage her. And Michael says that he can handle more than Justine thinks. I wanted to touch on this.
I don't know, Michael.
I wanted to touch on this. I actually am on the side of Michael.
Really?
Yeah, because Justine married this man.
Uh-oh.
You brought your kids to live with him and to be a father to them. So you would think you trust him. Maybe you only trust him with you around, but I would think that you trust him in his judgment. Now, did he overreact and do too much? Yes.
Yes, he did.
But at the same time, how a man parents and reacts to situations is not going to be the same way as a woman does. And it's not, I will say that I don't think it's right he punched the ball. That's definitely not cool. But just because Michael is different and maybe he handles things in situations differently doesn't mean that it's wrong, and it doesn't mean that he doesn't have the best interest for the kids at heart. And I think that the kids will be safe in his care the way that he is loving on them, accepting them, and wanting them to be one big family. And I also think it's unfair for Kylie to have to take on the responsibility of your children because she is in college. She is just getting her footing. She's trying to establish a life for herself. And she didn't make a decision to get pregnant or have children and to have that type of responsibility. So I don't think it's fair that Justine puts that on her. I think that Justine at most should say like, hey, Kylie, if something were to happen to me, like, it would be great if you could check on Michael, check on the kids, and just make sure everything's going good with them, and just make sure you're still involved with the family. If that's something that she can agree to do. But Michael is the one that you have entrusted your children to be with. And I agree, you blended a family and now you want to break it apart when you pass. Like, that's even more traumatic. So
I agree with the whole Kylie thing with like, you shouldn't trust Kylie because you shouldn't put that responsibility on Kylie because that's just not fair. Like, just because you had her at a young age doesn't mean you get to rob her early adult years, late teenage years of college to basically man the family. Yeah. That's weird, right? Michael did punch a hole in the wall. And truth be told, I am not judging him punching a hole in the wall. You would rather him punch a hole in the wall. Yeah. Like, truth be told, punching it's not a scary thing for a man to potentially hurt himself by punching a hole in the wall. I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about what he said, not what he did, what he said. He said he's under a lot of stress and that basically he is living kind of above his means because the job is barely supporting their lifestyle. You get what I'm saying? So he's working for this moving company as well, and he's already stressed out already by work. So that's why I'm like, okay, Michael may not be, this sounds weird. Michael may not be a great single parent for these kids. He may need to work with someone as a partner, as Justine is his wife. Because I think when he's under a lot of stress, a lot of things go slip between the crack. But my whole point is, they shouldn't have been having this baby, so they wouldn't be having these conversations. And my thing is, I don't know who else can step in. I don't think it should be her kid that should be watching her kids. You get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that is the husband. And it's like, I don't know who's going to be there to basically mellow Michael out when he's stressed out. And not mellow him out from basically punch a hole in the wall. If all he do is punch holes in the wall, you're good. If all he do is just take the phone and take the TVs off the wall, you're good. Even though I'm like, wow, you just keep taking it down, putting it up, taking it down, putting it up. But I'm like, he's stressed. And he may go to other lengths that may be detrimental to himself and the family because he's under that current weight of stress. You know what I mean?
Okay. So Michael's mom is coming to live with them. Apparently her house burned down. They have been keeping the pregnancy a secret from his mom, and we see a flashback of pretty much why, because when Justine and him shared that she was pregnant with their first daughter together, she brought out a paternity test.
Oh, yeah.
So Justine is feeling overwhelmed with his mom coming to live with them. The family goes to the grocery store, and Justine is talking to Michael's daughter, and she is close with her grandmother, and she's not used to hiding things from her grandmother since they are such a close family. Justine just hasn't wanted to deal with the mother's reaction to her pregnancy.
Hey, listen here, man. I don't know why y'all grown-ups is hiding the baby.
So Justine plans on just kind of chilling in the backyard, hiding while the kids greet their grandmother. She's worried about the wrath that she's going to get. She would give Michael an ultimatum if his mom did bring a paternity test into their home. So he picks his mom up to bring her back to the house, and the mom is talking about how she's, going to be starting a new life here in Vegas. She would plan to retire here. And he tells his mom, just to come in, see how things are run. Don't come in trying to, take over. And as soon as they drive up, the mom says, your plants need watering. She can't help herself.
That's true. Listen, you over here in Vegas, man, dry heat, it needs some water.
So the mom, the grandmother, she comes in, she greets all the babies and everything. She even picks up the little baby and walks by Justine. Justine's got like a little jacket over her belly. But she ends up standing up, and we get it on a cliffhanger of the mom turning around to see that Justine has a pregnant belly.
Yeah, and this would let me know that y'all know y'all shouldn't have had this baby. Because y'all doing everything you can to hide this blessing that y'all say children are a blessing and things of that nature. But yet, it's like this Michael's mother come. The children are making fun of you being scared. They say, hey, actually, you should be the first one to greet them. Belly out and all, just get it out the way. And now you kind of tucking your tail between your legs with a jacket over your stomach. And now we got to do this big pregnancy reveal. And I'm like, hey, listen here. Actually, what's going to happen is, Mom, Justine and I had to get a will together because, like, this may be a dangerous pregnancy for Justine. We need your support. You get what I'm saying? Like you have to lay the law down before like somebody come in and rearrange and start actually like making you feel bad for the decisions that you made. Yes, I don't agree with the decision, but hell, we here now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I can see why Justine didn't want to tell the mom, but that doesn't mean you don't tell her.
Yeah.
Just because you don't want to, it doesn't mean that you don't do it. I feel like they should have told her sooner. And I think that's something that the daughter talked about, is how the grandmother probably will be hurt with the fact that they didn't clue her in on this big family situation that's going on right now.
Yeah.
So that could add more stress between Justine and the grandmother, because not only are you pregnant, but you didn't tell me and you're about to have the baby. So what is our relationship really?
True.
You know? So it could be a lot. It can be a lot, but I think they'll figure it out. So we get to Kim and Joey. They meet up with the lawyer. Kim and her and husband got married in 2018. He had an affair, so she left. But it's been over a year now that they've been legally separated, and she has full custody of the kids. She's done what she needs to, according to the lawyer, to get the divorce with having the separation for a year. But she does ask, if she were to buy a house and she's legally married, does that mean that he has rights to the house? And the lawyer tells her that it depends on when the closing happens and when the final divorce decree happens. It's not likely that he will take the house, but the best road is just to get divorced, then buy a house. Kim shares that her first child might be Joey's and is asking if her husband will still have rights to the child. So they talk about how he has been paying child support, and he's both basically, if it's find out that Joey is the father of the child, then Kim would have to owe back the money that he paid in child support. And that, I think they said, was over like $20-something thousand.
Yeah.
The lawyer makes it clear, because Kim's talking about, I rely on that money for the kids to eat. I rely on that money for us to live, all this type of stuff. The lawyer makes it clear, like, this is like your children's money.
Yeah. You talking too loud.
Exactly. This money is for y'all, for the kids, only the kids. She still doesn't want to know who the father is of the child, and she feels like it's a no-win scenario.
Of course it's a no-win scenario for her, because okay, let's start with this. Do you think she knows who the father is?
No.
Okay. See, my thing is, if it comes out that she knows that her ex-husband is not the father, oh my goodness, you are dirty.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because
I think she's dirty for not knowing and still going through with the mess she's going through.
Yeah, because once we found out what the husband is paying in child support, he's paying over $2,000 a month in child support. And I'm like, that's why you don't want to get a divorce. That's why you don't want to take a paternity test and get the results, because you're a teacher's aide. You get what I'm saying? You make what, $13, $14 an hour and things of that nature as a teacher's aide, and y'all talk about buying a house, but you plan on he's buying the house.
Pretty much.
Whatever salary, whatever money, all that money Joey used on the rims, all that money he used on those kids' toys and things of that nature was from that $2,000 that come every month. It's not from her salary at all. So it's like she, in a way, it does not benefit her to find out who the father of her kids are.
That's why she don't want to know. She didn't even want to see the lawyer.
No. Your explanation, Blair. I don't know why. I explanation is not the word. What is your view on like this? Say, there we go.
My view, I pretty much agree with you. Like, Kim is trying to skirt around the issue so that if things don't work out in her favor, she doesn't have to be responsible for paying this man his money back, because she can't afford it.
No.
And Joey can't. Joey ain't got no job, and he said, I ain't getting no job if I got to pay for a house that belongs to some other man. So Joey's finding any reason not to work.
He's like, I ain't trying to work.
So yeah, I'm just annoyed because we're about 3 weeks deep and we still haven't found out who the baby's father is. So I'm getting really annoyed with this storyline because I'm trying to figure out who the father is.
Blair don't want to see them on the screen unless it's Murray and them. Yes, you are the father. That's basically what Blair want to see.
So we get to Teenie and Rob.
Yeah.
She is going, Rob is saying that Teenie's going to have to deal with looking at the tattoo because he, got this tattoo before he met her or before, they got together, and he's like, I just got my job. She knows I don't have money to get this thing covered up. Teenie knows that she was being petty. She just threw it out there about the tattoo because he said something about her getting a job in 2 weeks, and she just had to say something back. Okay. She apologizes to him for not consulting him about spending the money for the water park. Okay. And she also apologizes for throwing the tattoo in his face. Okay. Rob goes to spend some time with his dad at the basketball court, and he fills his dad in on the altercation between his mom and Teenie. And the dad, things just didn't work out between Rob's mom and him, but he's not surprised about the situation because Rob's mom is immature. Okay. Dad tells Rob that, your mom is very stubborn. And Rob says, growing up, honestly, that's why I like being in the streets. They were more peaceful than being at home. So the dad tells him prison may have actually saved your life. And he tells him, you being a black man and a felon, you already got 2 strikes against you. Facts. Apparently, his dad had gotten into some trouble as well. He got some murder charges, but he ended up found not guilty. But it still didn't help that he had those stories written up about him and all that stuff in the news that didn't put him in a good light. Okay. Then they talk about breaking generational curses.
Let's keep going.
Teenie and Rob are now going on their date night. She interviewed for a paralegal position and she got the job. Nice. He asked, with her getting a job, maybe they could try for a baby.
Wait, stop. Stop. You was just crying over $200 tickets to the water park. Yep. And now you about to make a bill a baby? Yeah. To put you back in the red? Yeah. I don't understand your logic, brother. Yeah. I really don't. Keep going.
Teenie says that he's just getting acclimated to this life, and a baby is a huge adjustment.
It is.
Teenie raised both of her kids alone, so she does have a fear of raising another child alone. He's ready to get rid of the condoms. He wants to try for a baby girl, and she is willing to give him what he wants out of life.
And that's usually what it is. Listen, you ask for it, I'm gonna give it to you. Guess what? They at that age now. And he's not where he is in his job, and she just got a job. You know how much daycare costs? None of her kids are in daycare. They go to school, come back. They probably got a key to the house. They be chilling. Yeah. They can watch themselves, as we saw in this scene to when they went on a date. Now you gonna have a baby, the way you gotta pay basically a mortgage. You gotta pay rent for like to hand your baby off every week to like daycare. I don't understand what Rob is seeing here and things of that nature, but I think the problem with them I think financially they are going to struggle. They are going to struggle, and hopefully, like them working, they can see like a little more like breathing room for them to actually spend money on, so where they're not mad at the water park. But my only fear is I think they are see money, spend money. As in, I don't think the money stay long enough in their hands to actually like make a difference in their life. I think they're just going to spend it as soon as they touch their hand.
Yeah, for me, I would say that I think they should wait a little bit to get their finances up. I know Rob had like a good amount of savings and all that type of stuff because he was supporting Teenie and his mom while he was in prison. So yeah, I'm not going to say that they don't have money, but it probably would be best for Teenie just to make sure that the job is going to work out, that she's going to, like the job, be able to stay there. It's not like a high turnover type of situation, and that Rob is continuing with his job and, just maybe give it a year. Yeah. I would say give it a year just to see. But hey, I mean, they're grown, they're married, they want to have a baby. And if they think that it can work out and things will be fine, then that's their business. That's their business. Yeah. And if they think that they can afford it right now, then that's fine. I would say wait just to make sure. But if they believe that everything's kosher, then cool. And that's it.
That's it? I could have sworn there was
Oh yeah, sorry.
I'm about to say that is not it. I'm about to say let's keep going. Troy. Let's keep going, please, Blair. Thank you.
So they go to a dispensary. Yeah. They have been through a lot since he's been out, but she is happy that they finally get to be together. Troy talks about how being at a weed dispensary is a luxury. Okay. And he talks about from things being like in dime bags and all that type of stuff. Like this is like a whole different world. So they go to a park to sit, talk, and smoke, and she thanks him for adopting her son and expresses how much that she appreciates him. Troy tears up because he wants his kids to be proud of him, and he is definitely going to be there for Asael, Z's son, so that way he has a positive male role model in his life and a real father.
Hey Z, are you gonna allow him to be there for his daughter and not just your son that he adopted? I have no problem with adoption. I know you're adopted. I know he adopted and took on the responsibilities of your son, but can he be there for his daughter? Because last time I checked, you threw a whole temper tantrum, threw a ring at him and all things of that nature when he went to go see his daughter for the first time. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? But let's keep going.
Z asks if she were to get pregnant, would he want to have another kid? And he says that he wants them to be set financially before having a child together. Okay. She is not on birth control because apparently it was breaking her skin out really bad, but he doesn't know.
Why don't you tell him? Like
this would Troy be mad about.
Is it like, why don't you tell him? And then on top of that, you cheated on me before, so I don't know that you're not on birth control. I don't know how faithful you are. You get what I'm saying? So we may have another Kim and Joey situation. Yes, I took it that far, but my whole thing is Z just don't be sharing information. So all this, mind you, everything that Z have not shared. She have not shared anything about the job, the rent at the job, and being behind on rent at our house and things of that nature. She's talking about not letting him know that she's not on birth control. So it's like I'm always in the dark on everything. But yet, if I was to do something, I have to let you know and be transparent about my moves and things of that nature. But she's not living through that. She's not living through that lens.
So Troy is going to take Asael to the Science Center just for them to have some one-on-one time. Z says that Troy has put Asael on a strict routine, a strict diet, and it seems like Asael is just doing well and thriving with Troy being in his life. Okay. Troy's mom ends up calling him and saying that there is a situation, and we're left on a cliffhanger. We don't know what that situation is.
What do you think the situation is?
I don't know. It could be anything with that mama. Maybe something with the baby mom. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's something with the baby mom too. I think the baby mama needs some money. Yeah. And that is her. The mom is the middleman. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Other than that, what are your thoughts on everything so far?
Just continuing to watch. I'm ready to get the paternity results. That's pretty much where my mind is at.
Blair wants the paternity results. She don't care about nobody else's story. You get what I'm saying?
It's been like a month. Like, come on. Just give it to us.
They just building it up for us. That's all they doing. Okay. Let us know what y'all thought about this episode. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. We see y'all.
Bye.